Hello everyone, this is Little Ant's Politics. Have you heard of Guo Wengui? Do you know who Guo Wengui is? Well, if you have not, please allow me to introduce him. Guo Wengui, also known as Mouse Quack, is a Chinese billionaire and a real estate tycoon. In 2014, 1 year before he fled China, he was the 73rd richest man in China. Later on, he became one of the 40 wealthiest Chinese. Miles was born in Shen County, Shandong Province of the People's Republic of China in 1970. He was the second youngest among 8 children in the family. Miles started his business career at an early age. After he had made his first bucket of gold from trading commodities and oil, he moved to Zhengzhou of Henan Province in the early 90s, where he built Yuda Plaza. Yuda Plaza is a luxury hotel and business complex, which has remained a famous landmark of Zhengzhou till today. In 2002, he moved to Beijing and continued his venture in real estate business. One of his most famous developments is Pangu Plaza, a dragon-shaped 7-star hotel and luxury residence. Pangu Plaza is located at the heart of the Imperial City and parallel to the central axis of the Forbidden City. It is adjacent to the Bird Nest and Water Cube, where Beijing Olympic ceremonies and games were hosted in 2008. Many former high-up government officials who were believed to be linked to Miles have been arrested during the anti-corruption campaign led by Wang Qishan. These officials include Ma Jian, the former deputy director of Chinese National Security Bureau, and Zhang Yue, the former political and legal affairs secretary of Hebei Province. While supporting Chinese chairman Xi Jinping, Miles emphasizes that part of the anti-corruption campaign has been, indeed, a political witch hunt.
我的目的很简单，就把郭文贵这几十年的经历和我的财富，给中国人民争取民主、自由、依法治国，让老百姓财富得到保证，这就是我所追求的，让中国人活得有些尊严。 让中国人活得更多一点安全，让老百姓多一点公平。
In 2015, Miles was secretly tipped off that Wang Qishan would arrest him and his whole family in the name of anti-corruption campaign. And therefore, he fled China and moved into his $68 million apartment overlooking Central Park in New York City. Unfortunately, his wife and daughter had been captured and imprisoned by the CCP until their recent release at the end of this May. Since the beginning of 2017, Miles has become a political activist and gained a lot of momentum by conducting a series of movements and bringing people's attention to alleged corruption of Chinese politicians. Since January 26, 2017, several media have interviewed Miles, including VOA, BBC, HBO, and Mingjing, which is the largest non-state-owned Chinese media outside of China.
Why do you think the government's so afraid of you?
非常清楚的是，因为中国在过去的100年没有任何一个个人挑战过这个国家的权利，从来没有。我真想改变中国。 我要去做这个事情，站起来，不要老趴在地上，不要是捂着耳朵，不能蒙上眼睛，因为我的今天就是所有人的明天。
He also initiated the campaign to expose outrageous corruption of some of the highest government officials in China via live broadcasting on his YouTube and Twitter accounts. With his credible and pervasive network in China, Miles believes that a small clique of super-corrupted kleptocrats have been running China. During his press conference at the National Press Club in Washington, D.C. in October, he addressed, and quote, "What they're doing is against humanity. What the U.S. ought to do is to take action instead of just talking to Chinese kleptocrats. Because they're just a tiny group of mafia. Pure and simple. I would like all the members of the Chinese Communist Party to wake up and say no to this ruling clique." Additionally, he warns the public that a wave of Chinese spies have been dispatched to the U.S. during recent months. Miles said, and quote, "They have launched a 3F plan to weaken the U.S., to bring turmoil to the U.S., and to decimate the U.S. These plans pose great threats to the American people and their property. These efforts are potentially 100 times or even 1,000 times as damaging as the 9/11 attacks." As we're speaking, Miles' Facebook, Twitter, and YouTube accounts have been restricted from posting for weeks. In next week's podcast, we will walk you through the details about how Chinese kleptocrats have been trying to silence Miles. That's all for today. Thank you for listening, and see you next time.
It was because Guo published other people's personal information.
You did not come under pressure from the Chinese government or any of its representatives or people working for them to block his account or to block whatever it is you block.